The Arizona Cardinals coming off a heartbreaking loss against the Miami Dolphins 34-31. Now there's a lot of people asking what happened during this game to have the Arizona Cardinals lose. We're going to go ahead and dive into it here shortly, guys. Let's go ahead and roll that intro. Alright guys, welcome back in. Now, like I mentioned in the intro, I wanted to talk about this heartbreaking loss that the Arizona Cardinals just endured yesterday against the Miami Dolphins, 34-31. Before we get started, let's do our quick due diligence here. If you're new, please consider subscribing to the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Put that post notification bell on as well, and don't forget to drop a like because YouTube likes. Without further ado, let's go and just jump right into it here. This game here, there was a lot of things that went wrong. I think if we try to pinpoint one thing that went wrong for this Arizona Cardinal team, we would probably be pulling our hair out to really figure out, exactly dissecting it. I think the Arizona Cardinals did a very, very good job on the offensive side of the ball. Let's go ahead and just highlight real quick. Kyler Murray had an amazing game. If any quarterback played like this, most of the time you will get a win for your team. Kyler Murray had a stat record of 21 out of 26 completions, 283 yards, 3 passing touchdowns. As far as rushing goes, he went over 100 rushing yards, 106 rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown. Amazing stat line. Kyler Murray did everything he possibly can to will this team to get a win. Unfortunately, that's not the way that the Cards dropped, and we're kind of looking at this situation right now with getting a loss and now being 5-3 on the season. Another player I want to highlight on the offensive side of the ball, it's going to be none other than Christian Kirk. I love what we're seeing from Christian Kirk. The consistency of, touchdowns is what I want to see. Christian Kirk had 5 receptions, 123 yards, and 1 touchdown, but his touchdown was another bomb from Kyler Murray, which he ended up catching and taking to the end zone, which was amazing. Really like what I'm seeing from Christian Kirk. I hope we can go ahead and continue to build off of this as well, because we also have Larry Legend doing his thing as well. Larry Legend also had an amazing game. I love to see what I've seen. A player I also wanted to mention on the offensive side of the ball was DeAndre Hopkins. There was a tweet out there stated that when the game ended, DeAndre Hopkins just ran into the locker room. He didn't want to do the handshakes of anything. It seems like he took this loss personal, really hard. But let's be honest with you. We go ahead and feel the same thing here as Arizona Cardinal fans. Do I blame DeAndre Hopkins? No, I don't, but I would like to see a little bit more sportsmanship personally. But I mean, he's going to have to deal with whatever he's dealing with himself, honestly. If I was in his situation, I probably would be frustrated as well, being that he did not get any receptions for that first half of the game. The thing is that, yes, he didn't get any receptions, but you definitely don't want to force it to him as well, because probably had the best corner duo on their defensive side of the ball, being Xavier Howard as well as Byron Jones as well. So we got to go ahead and take that to consideration as well. But I definitely do think that DeAndre Hopkins took this game really hard, and I completely agree right there. I'm pretty heartbroken myself, not going to lie to you. Let's go ahead and move over to the defensive side of the ball here. I want to go ahead and make sure that we talk about the defense. Man, the defense let 34 points put on them. I mean, who else do you blame? Do you blame the players? Do you blame the coaching staff? I say you blame both. At the end of the day, Tua Tagovailoa had all the time in the world to make a decision. Sometimes he ran out of the pocket and looked like Kyler Murray himself and running over our defense. It was really frustrating. It actually kind of reminded me back to when we seen Bridgewater do that to us, and it was really frustrating to see because we couldn't contain Tua Tagovailoa, being that this was his second start. I would have hoped that we would have gotten more blitzes, especially Budda Baker blitzes, but this game was really weird and really hard to watch because there were so many penalties being called off. Now, on both sides of the ball. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that the biggest reason why the Arizona Cardinals lost because penalties. I'm not going to be that guy. There was penalties on the Miami Dolphins side. There was penalties on the Cardinals side. I felt like this was one of those games where it was just really disgusting to watch because every other play I felt like there was a flag thrown. Like, at the end of the day, this is football. We need to let these players play. Especially, there's one penalty that I want to bring up here that really got me upset. It was going to be the Budda Baker that I believe he was tackling Mike Gesicki. All I know that it was a tight end. It was just a quick swing route or like an out route. And Budda Baker comes up and lights him up. Now, there was a flag being put on that play. Now, this is what really concerns me here. We have a tight end that's probably 6'4", 6'3". We have Budda Baker that's 5'10". Obviously, there is a height gap. Budda Baker does all he can to make sure that he gets the perfect tackle down. All this tight end needs to do is put his head down, and what happens? He makes a collision with Budda Baker's head. Now, obviously, that's going to be a flag for these referees, and that gives them an easy 15 yards. Now, that's one thing that frustrates me to the core of my body here. What could have Budda Baker done? Tackle him like this and make sure his head is out of there, when most likely a tight end is going to shove him off, and then when he shoves him off, we're going to see a big highlight. Look what this tight end did to Budda Baker. Now, that's the frustrating part about the defensive side of the ball, that we're not able to find out what they can do. Now, Budda Baker was in nowhere near at fault to get a flag there. That was really upsetting to see. Now, there was one other flag that I also wanted to go ahead and bring up here, which was kind of the fault of obviously Leki Fotu, as well as the offensive side of the ball as well. We had Marcus Golden getting a sack on Tua Tagovailoa because he was kind of scrambling around in the pocket when it seemed to be crashing in. What happened was Leki Fotu also had a face mask grab on Tua Tagovailoa, brought him down, but the thing is that the refs also didn't see that he was being held and had also a face mask put on him. So there's a lot of things that need to be cleaned up on the referee side of the ball as well. I'm not going to say this game turned because of that situation, but the truth of the matter is that the defense could not get off the field to save their lives, and that was the most frustrating part of it all. Now, of course, coming off a loss, we're going to go ahead and magnify a lot of different stuff. Now, one of the biggest things here as to why we lost 34-31 was probably because Zane Gonzales did not make the connection, and when he kicked the ball, it literally fell short about 1 to 2 yards. I believe it was a 49-yard field goal, an easy, I wouldn't say easy kick, but I mean, I guess for an NFL standard type of kicker, this would probably be a pretty manageable kick to make. But when he kicked the ball, obviously fell short. It did not go through the field goal, and he was looking very like, what just happened to the long snapper as well and the holder. He didn't really know what was going on, so maybe he just didn't kick it hard enough. Obviously, that's probably what happened, but he was also in awe, like, what happened? But obviously, everybody wants to blame Zane Gonzales. They want to fire him. They're already eating hashtags fire Zane Gonzales. But let's be honest here, guys. We don't have any other option. Do you want to bring in a Nick Folk, somebody that's really washed up right now? There's nobody else out there. We need to ride and die with Zane Gonzales right now. Yes, it seemed like he cost us this game. And yes, it seemed like he almost cost us the Seattle Seahawks game. But the truth of the matter is here that he is a reliable kicker for now. Is he as consistent as Justin Tucker? No. But I mean, let's be honest here. What other kicker out in any NFL team is Justin Tucker? Let's be honest here, right? Zane Gonzales did his best, and unfortunately, that's how this ended up happening. But it should have really come down to a field goal at the end of the day. Kyler Murray did everything he possibly could to wheel this team to get into a position to win. But the drive prior, when we ended up getting stuffed and they got their field goal, constantly try to go 4th and 1, 4th and inches. We try to convert like 3 to 5, or it was like 3 to 4 of them for that last drive, and eventually it's going to catch up to you. There's only so much 4th and shorts you can get through. Kingsbury kept trying to roll the dice and try to see if we can get through. Now, most of the time, he seemed like a genius because we ended up converting it. But that last time when he sent Chase Edmonds in there and he got stuffed, it didn't work out. Now, obviously, we're going to magnify it and say, why did we take the ball out of the hands of Kyler Murray because we sent Chase Edmonds in there? But if it was the opposite, and if it was Kyler Murray that missed it, we would have said, why didn't we not give it to Chase Edmonds? The truth of the matter here, all of the decisions that are made during this game, we just kind of need to stick with it. There are key points, key decisions in this game that either have us win or have us lose. Unfortunately, that's not the way that it ended up going. Now, I know there's also hashtags going out there, fire Cliff Kingsbury. He's getting, time and time again, out coach, or fire Vance Joseph. Guys, it's not going to happen. Not during this season right now. Being that we're 5-3 right now, we're still second in the NFC West. We have a good chance of making it to the playoffs. Why scrap a defense? Why scrap an offense because we're upset that we're 5-3? I mean, yes, I'm upset too. I'm really upset. I'm frustrated because we felt like we should have won this game as well. And if not for, Zane Gonzales missing a kick, we probably could have been in overtime. Who knows what would have happened? But here's the truth of the matter. The Arizona Cardinals had plenty of opportunities throughout this entirety of the game. It shouldn't have come down to Zane Gonzales. It shouldn't have had all these different penalties going on the defense. We should have pressured Tua Tagovailoa a lot more, and it just did not happen. Their defense came up clutch. They came up clutch. They got a scoop and score in the very first drive against Kyler Murray, and they took advantage of every opportunity they got. Now, I am proud of this Arizona Cardinal team. We will bounce back. I know we have a tough stretch coming through here with the Bills coming up next. Obviously, the Bills took care of the Seattle Seahawks and did us a big favor, so thanks for doing that. But this was an opportunity for the Arizona Cardinals to be #1 in the standings, but we still have 8 games left. Let's not hit the panic button. Let's not fire anybody. Let's not roll out there with practice squad people, because these are the best people that we have right now. If we want to move on from Vance Joseph in the offseason, then I'm all up for it. Let's do that. Let's look for another defensive coordinator. But as of right now, these hashtags, fire Vance, fire Cliff, fire Zane, it's not going to happen until the end of the season, unless we go on a terrible losing streak from here on out and it's like 2 or 3 games left in the season. Then we can start those hashtags. I'm right there with you. But right now that we have 8 games left, let's pump the brakes here real quick and let's look into the Buffalo Bills game from here on out, guys. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below as far as this game goes. Drop a like on this video, and if you're new, please consider subscribing to the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. That's all I got. Thank you so much, and I'm out.